Welcome to another edition of McAllen Update. I'm Roy Canthu.
And I'm Roxanne Letterman. Today we are back out at the newly renovated McAllen International Airport. The airport recently finished up a major facelift and $26 million expansion. Airport administrators say the renovations were needed to keep up with record growth and better serve a rapidly growing international region. The terminal expansion project will accommodate more passengers in a roomier, modernized, more secure setting.
With the expansion, the airport gains an ample new passenger lobby, new food court areas, new retail space, seating with power outlets at every seat cluster, a newly designed baggage handling system, and a redesigned Transportation Security Administration screening area. Roxanne Letterman has the details on how city leaders say the renovations will see us well into the future.
That's right, Roy. Finally, the big reveal at McAllen International Airport. We're calling it kind of a snapshot of the region. Joining us now to tell us a little bit more about that, our wonderful Darling Mayor, right? That's what they referred to you as? Jim Darling, thank you for being with us. Why is this a snapshot of our region?
Well, I think when you're traveling, whether you're coming to visit your relatives in McAllen region, or you're coming to do business, or you're coming to shop, when you walk through an airport, you get that feeling. Is this place really something I want to live in or do my business in? And I think it shows how much the community commits to their economic vitality. And so when I travel, I notice that. And so I want people, when they get off that plane, they walk in and say, wow, this is a place I want to be in. And hopefully when they leave this, walk through the facility, we meet all those expectations. And so I think that works.
So obviously it's a multi-million-dollar expansion. Tell us a little bit about what is included in these big remodeling projects.
It's got a little bit for everybody. You know, TSA, I forgot. I went over the other day. I've flown 2 weeks ago, and the TSA area is very small. Now it's spacious, and we could actually do something we couldn't do before. If we have the TSA approval, it didn't matter. You went through the same line with everybody else. And so, you know, a facility to increase efficiency for the passengers. The baggage area now is first class and a safety factor, and also will speed up that process. TSA offices are expanded. Certainly, if you go back past the gates and look at the new restaurant and waiting area and bars and restaurants and store, that's really first class too. And so I think a little bit for everybody, and including beautification of the parking lot and the landscaping around. So I think we kind of touched on everything we need, and it's a really great facility.
All right, Mayor, thank you so much for joining us, and obviously everything bigger and better in the city of McAllen. Roy, now back to you.
Thanks, Roxanne. We have a brand new airport, and if you want some brand new landscaping around your home, we have a great option for you. Grab a bag of pulverized glass at the McAllen Recycling Center. Public Works says the city recycles about 10 tons of glass monthly with the pulverizer, which saves the city about $100,000 a year by avoiding landfill tipping fees. The pulverizer breaks down the glass into two grades. Public Works uses a crushed sand-like grade for the city projects like bedding for the road construction and storm and sewer and water installations. And the second grade is larger, smooth glass pieces that can be used for decorative purposes.
The coarse one can be used for landscaping projects to top dress beds, and you can also use it for arts and crafts. We have people that come in and do a lot of arts and crafts with their children, and even for schools. And then we have also landscapers just to add a little bit more spark to their landscaping. They put a little bit of glass, and after it's real clean and bright with the sun rays, it'll shine real pretty.
The unique glass pulverizer is one of the city's many pieces in the effort to embrace environmentally friendly programs. You can purchase the glass to adorn landscapes or for awesome arts and crafts for only 2 cents a pound. Mayor Jim Darling recently hosted a press conference to discuss a possible boost in immigration this summer. Roxanne Letterman has all the details.
That's right, Roy. We haven't seen the uptick in immigration, but we are preparing for that. Joining us now to tell us more about that, McAllen Mayor Jim Darling, thank you for being with us.
Welcome.
Mayor, why did we decide to host this press conference with our federal and local partners?
A couple reasons. Number one, you know, it's been a year since this all happened, and we had all the press and all those kind of things. And so this is really an update to let people know, because you see the story, and then the impression you have is that it's still like that. And so this was kind of an update of really what's happened, how the situation seems to be relatively under control, at least from a standpoint of the numbers coming across and those things. And also let people know we're prepared in the future to do it. One of the other things I think is to underline that we still think there's a problem, I think, that needs to be corrected, foreign policy, immigration. address the immigration issues. Otherwise, it's going to be a continuous thing, and you have surges and non-surges, but you're really not addressing the underlying problems that are causing.
So, in your opinion, what do we do about that? How do we fix that?
Well, one of the things you do is deal with the immigration issue and the backlog. One of the enticements, I think, for people coming across was if you get across the checkpoint with this piece of paper that says you have a promise to appear in court, and then getting back to the country to say you don't go to court, you assimilate into the society. I don't think anybody's been actually had their hearings yet from last year. And I understand there's a 3 or 4 or 5 year backlog, and that's not a great message to send to anybody, and it's not fair to anybody when you think about it. Somebody's been in this country for 5 years before they have a hearing, built a life here a little bit, and then if you send them back, where do they have to go back to? It's not fair to American taxpayers or anybody that believes that there's a solid immigration system going on, and it's really not fair to the judges or anything. How do you 5 years later, how do you determine an asylum hearing for something that happened in El Salvador 5 years later and removed? And so I think we really need to spend the money to do the right job on the immigration side as it relates to the judicial side, and then the State Department needs to come up with a really viable foreign policy to address the things in those countries that will assist those countries in keeping their citizens there and not wanting to come to the United States.
But in the meantime, if we do see those numbers take a climb, we want to reiterate to our community that we are ready and we're going to do it again.
Yeah, one of the things I thought about, we have, I forget what it is, but about only less than 10% of the people stay overnight at the facility, so they're released. So maybe if we work with Border Patrol and ICE, the federal government that's involved in releasing, of doing something before they get released. For instance, provisions, maybe a little bit of health checkup, maybe some social work that goes on over there, then as opposed to when they hit our bus stations, we can make it more efficient. And not to say that we wouldn't do that, but the bus station is not the great place to first decide whether people need aid or whatever those kind of things are. So I think they do a great job at Border Patrol. I don't think they're necessarily were geared up for this, and they've certainly made a lot of progress, especially with the unaccompanied juveniles. And maybe we work a little bit with them on the families and say, okay, we can give those provisions over there as opposed to over here, because most of the ones are just going to the Catholic Charities for the day or for a couple hours. Maybe do that process over there and make it much more efficient.
All right. Okay. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. And so here in the city of McAllen, it's all about being proactive. Roy, now back to you.
Thanks, Roxanne. The award-winning McAllen Public Library continues to pick up those accolades. The McAllen Library was one of 12 in Texas to attend the Family Place Libraries Training Institute in New York. The Texas State Library and Archives Commission recently approved funding for 36 Texas public libraries to become Family Place libraries.
The aim of the project is to help public libraries address early learning priorities in their communities and ensure that all children enter school ready and able to learn. Our Public Works Department is racking up those awards as well. Roy Cantu joins us now with that story.
Thanks, Roxanne. We're here at Public Works, right here in the yard where they have all the vehicles to do a very important story. With me right now is Elvira Alonso, the Deputy Director at Public Works, who's going to get some recognition from across the country for the American Public Works Association. Tell us a little bit about this award that you're going to be presented to in August.
Roy, I'm extremely humbled by this award, and this is actually a national award that's being awarded, and it's a privilege to represent the city of McAllen. I'm extremely proud of the team, and very, very happy to receive the award.
Well, let me ask you, you've been here several years already, and don't want to say how many years you've been with the city of McAllen, but maybe you can say it, and you work with a lot of men. There's a lot of testosterone in this building. Tell us a little bit about the guys here at Public Works and some of the staff and women that work here.
Sure. We've got a staff here in Public Works of 269 employees, 15 departments, and the majority of them, you're right, are men. And they're very respectful, hard-working, dedicated employees who I am very proud to lead and work with in any situation. And they're prepared, they're ready to go, they're well-trained, very skilled. So I'm extremely proud The administrative staff, which comprised of maybe 20 women in the group, they're also very professional, very courteous. We provide the best customer service for the residents of McAllen.
And of course, she hasn't said how many years she's worked for the city of McAllen, but how many?
32.
32 years. Of course, she started when she was probably 10. And so she's been here 32 years. So it's been great working with Elvira. And I so want to congratulate you on this great honor that you totally deserve.
Thank you very, very much. I'm extremely humbled. Thank you.
So for the city of McAllen, I'm Roy Cantu with this national award winner.
Thanks, Roy. Now, with the kiddos back at home, you're probably wondering what to do to keep them busy while still getting a dose of education in there. Well, McAllen's World Birding Center, Quinta Mazatlan, is offering a great summer lineup. In June, children can join one of the 4-day nature discovery camps. 2 camps in July are sure to excite, one on survival skills and a new dinosaur camp. Professional artists will teach a variety of cool ways to use nature in art during a camp starting July 21st. And finally, ending the summer with thoughts of the new school year, there's a science fair project camp where students learn how to conduct experiments. To find out more, visit quintamazatlan.com or call them at 681-3370.
Of course, you can enroll your kids in some of McAllen Parks and Recreations programs too. The summer program book is available at your community centers at Palmview, Lark, and Las Palmas. The McFun Summer 2015 activity book is filled with things for the entire family. Yep, there's adult programs too. You can view and register your family for any program online at McAllenParks.net.
We have a variety of activities and programs for you this summer. We have camps all the way from sports and dance, cheerleading, to summer day camp at Lark, a variety of activities, stuff that goes on for a week, stuff that goes on for a day, or stuff that goes on all summer.
For questions on the summer programs, please call Parks at 681-3333. Here's a different view of the McAllen Sports Park. As you can see, the park is coming together with an asphalt parking lot, and park staff is putting up fencing around the facility. Currently, AEP is putting up lights to light up the fields. McAllen City staff is placing fiber so there's Wi-Fi capability at the park for everyone to surf while enjoying the outdoors. Parks and Recreation is also excited about the Musco lighting, which will illuminate the outdoors for nighttime play. The McAllen Sports Park is almost complete. They'll have their first official event with TIFA, Texas Youth Football Association, this month.
And finally today, more than 10,000 people walked through the doors of the McAllen Convention Center for this year's South Texas Comic-Con. The 2-day convention is a place where fans from all over gather to celebrate their love of pop culture and comics. It's also a great place to meet celebrities like Sean Astin of Lord of the Rings. From colorful superhero costumes to rare collectibles, it's all here at South Texas Comic-Con. So start making plans for next year's big convention because this cultural phenomenon is just getting bigger and better. And that wraps up another edition of the McAllen Update. Be sure to catch us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and now on Instagram. For the City of McAllen, I'm Roxanne Lerma.
And I'm Roy Cantu. Thanks for joining us.